Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing on this very sunny Saturday today? Oxford United fighting for their lives at the bottom of the Championship. Watford arguably on the beach as it stands. Looking forward to this one at the Kassam Stadium, a sold out away end, and it's a pleasure to be joining you once again. Not too many fixtures left in the Championship this season. I think we've got 3 home games left, 2 away. Am I correct in saying that? So yeah, not long left to go at all. And for me, I think we just all want a positive end to the season, right? The team news is certainly interesting. Let's take a look at that now. Hopefully this will work by switching over. Bear with me. Here we go. Is it going to work? Yes, success, fantastic. So ignore the formation. Of course, you can see on screen. FOTMob have that wrong, but you've got the general idea of the starting 11. Egil Selvik in goal for Watford. A centre back pairing of Saba Goglachitse and Matty Pollitt. James Abankwa is back in the 11, which is fantastic to see. And of course, still with the absence of Mark Boller, Jeremy Petrie is at left fullback. In midfield, we're going to have Imran Louza, Nompaliz Mendy, and Edu Kayembe. And then as our front three, it looks like a 4-3-3. We'll have Luka Kiramgard as the starting striker, Nestri Irankunda on the right, and Georgi Shafatatsi on the left-hand side. So that is the starting 11 for today's match. You can see Oxford as well. Cameron Brannigan in midfield is someone I really like. Jamie Cumming in goal as well, I think is a top class goalkeeper. And Will Lancashire up front, of course, has been in quite good form recently, I've got to say. So it's going to be a difficult test for the Golden Boys, but I have faith. I have faith that we will go and get a positive result. We're just waiting for the teams now to emerge out of the tunnel. Oxford United are 1 point adrift at the bottom of the table. Sheffield Wednesday rock bottom, and Leicester just above on goal difference in 22nd place. So very much a huge game for Oxford. Of course, not so much for Watford, but Ed's still potentially fighting for his Watford's future, of course. I think it's going to be make or break for him in the next couple of weeks. Yes, as I've discussed many times, he's signed that long-term contract with us. But as we know, Gino Pozzo doesn't hesitate to make decisions. We saw it last season with Tom Cleverley within a couple of days of the season concluding. And it could be the same this time round. So here we go. Oxford and Watford out on the pitch. They're lining up now, about to do the customary handshakes, of course. Let's get your score predictions in chat as well. I can see VJ here, Jeffrey is here, Melanie, one of our channel members as well, Richard, hey James, hey Richard, hope you're good. Evan is here as well. Evan says, to be honest, I see Watford winning 3-0. Love that from you, Evan. Hopefully that will be the case. I think in my match preview, I went for a 2-1 Oxford win, which isn't like me. I'm usually quite positive, but I just can't see Watford matching the level of fight that Oxford have, unfortunately. In terms of the 11, Eduardo Bove has dropped out of the squad entirely due to the homegrown rules, which is an interesting choice from Ed still, given he was such a high-profile signing. And also, I've got massive question marks about Luka Kiramgard beginning this game as well. I think he's had ample opportunities now to impress, and I think it's time Mamadou Doumbia and Vivaldo Semedo get opportunities from the off. So yeah, not too pleased with Luka starting. Very happy Irankunda is there once again, of course. And in midfield as well, I've got a few question marks. Kayembe straight back into the 11. I think I would have played Bove from the start, even after his performance away at QPR. So yeah, got a few questions. Let's hope Ed still can prove me wrong, though. Good to see lots of Watford fans in the away end as well. And let's hope we're going to see a few goals. Fingers crossed. That's what we all want on our Saturday afternoon today. Here we go. Watford in the blue Elton John kit today. Of course, Oxford in their yellow. Imran Louza just doing the coin toss with the referee. and then we should be able to get straight underway. Cameron Brannigan and Loser just on the halfway line here. Oh, I always get nervous, even though there's nothing to play for at all. I do get a little bit nervous before the start of every game. All right, we're nearly there. Watford just in a huddle, and then we'll get underway. How was everyone's Easter? I hope you had a good time and ate lots of chocolate. Obviously, the football played over Easter weekend wasn't that great. I enjoyed Easter Monday against Charlton. I thought that was a pretty good game, but yeah, QPR was certainly one to forget. All right, probably just about 30 seconds or so away from kickoff here. I think I'll stick with my match preview prediction. I'll go, 2-1 to Oxford, unfortunately. I've just got a bad feeling about this one. I feel like it's going to be a big game for them. All right, Imran Loser just standing over the ball on the halfway line. We're nearly ready to go here. Get the match timer underway. I usually forget to do that. If you are new around here as well, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out, and you'll be able to talk in the live chat today. Oh dear. Hurry up, referee. Get on with the game. VJ's going 2-1 Watford. Good prediction from you, VJ. Oh my god, we're taking a long time to get underway here. I don't know what the referee's waiting for. Loser doing a few stretches while we're waiting to get underway here. And there we go. We've kicked off. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll do my best to keep you all updated. We are underway at the Kassam Stadium. The sun beaming down on the pitch, which is great to see. We've finally emerged from the cold winter months, very much into spring now. Here's Georgie Shatfatatse with an early run down the left-hand side. It deflects and goes out for a Watford throw. Would be good to get an early goal here, actually. We've not done that too often this season, taking the initiative early on in these fixtures. Options on the bench as well. We'll go through that at half-time. And good to see as well, Connor Cody is all good after he took that rocket of a shot from Tom Ince against Charlton. I actually had to leave when he went down for that injury, Connor Cody, to get some transport home because the trains weren't very regular on Easter Monday. But from what I understand, he is all good, Connor Cody, now after that incident. It looked very serious at the time. A lot of medical staff on the pitch. So yeah, Imran Loser, as it stands, the deeper of the midfielders. Nampalys Mendy just ahead, and then Edu Kayembe even more advanced than that. Kayembe running in behind there. Here's Georgie Shatfatatse again on the left-hand side, running at his fullback. He's having a lot of joy here early on already. Jeremy Petrie now on the right, crosses in. It was a decent delivery. Oxford clear, and they're looking to counter now. Will Lancashire making the run, and he gets down the right-hand side. Sabagoglachitse there to cover. I'd love an Iran Kunda goal today as well. As in top form at the moment. And what a strike it was by Nestri Iran Kunda against Charlton. Really good, powerful shot across the goalkeeper. He bagged a couple for Australia in the last international break as well. We need to get Iran Kunda in good form moving forward. So yeah, Jeremy Petrie on the right-hand side to start with. James Abankwah has gone over to the left. I was actually expecting Abankwah to be at right fullback, but fair enough. I suppose he can cover all positions. Matt Bloomfield, of course, the current Oxford boss. He has links to our best friends up the road, Luton Town. And for me, this is last chance saloon for Luca Kiramgard. I can't believe he's received another start today. He looks completely lost out on that pitch at the moment. His goal scoring record this season is just not great. I think it's 3 goals in his last 22 or 23 appearances now. 9 goals in total. For a team who were looking to secure the playoffs and or promotion, that strike rate just isn't good enough from our number 9. Oxford win a free kick here, very much from deep. It's actually in their own half. They're looking to loft the ball forward. They do just that. I think Iran Kunda heads away there. He's good aerially, Iran Kunda, actually. For quite a small guy, he's not too bad in aerial situations. He's got a good leap on him, old Nestry. Terrible strike on goal by Oxford, and it goes out for a throw, actually. Nope, they keep it in play. Petrie gets in the way, and now it is a throw-in to Oxford, right towards Watford's corner flag. Oh, dear. And this is where I worry. We can't deal with long throws, balls into the box, in any sort of situation. But long throws especially, I do worry. Here it comes. Abankwa gets there. Matty competing for it as well. Here's Iran Kunda looking to use his burst of pace down the right. It goes out. Surely that's our ball, referee. Oxford with the throw. And yeah, Kayembe playing really advanced at the moment, almost as a second striker alongside Luca. Positive start from Watford, though Georgie Shakfatatse having the best of the attack in play so far down that left-hand side. I do prefer Georgie centrally if possible. So if Watford were playing, let's say, a 4-2-3-1, I would have Georgie kind of in that 10, just behind the striker. But on the left, he can still be effective, of course. I don't know if I agree with that, VJ. I think I would keep him around for sure. But I don't think he can be our starting striker again. If I was Watford, I'd maybe look to loan maybe Semedo out, get him a full season of senior football elsewhere, and then bring in kind of a proper experienced number 9 up front, kind of a 27, 28-year-old marksman who knows the championship. Of course, that's difficult to get and it costs a high price, but needs must ultimately. If Watford want to get out of this division, we can't rely on our wide players to score the majority of our goals. We have to get a proper goal scorer in that position, almost like a Mate Vidra type is someone I would like. I think we have too many hold-up men at the club currently. They're all left-footed. Our strikers as well. It's probably quite predictable for the opposition. So yeah, I'd love kind of an Igalo, a Vidra, a Forestieri type, if you remember him, up front next season. Here come Oxford, massive chance here, edge of the box. Non-police Mendy gets back though, and that's what we need him to do, just cover those central defenders. He gets in and he nicks the ball. Half chance there for Oxford if they got a shot away. 7 minutes played here at the Kassam. How do I sound? Hopefully I'm all clear to you guys. And yeah, Matt Bloomfield took over from Gary Rowett now at Leicester City. Bloomfield here at Oxford after leaving Luton. I think Plymouth drew earlier today against Exeter as well. Their derby match, which is a shame for Tom Cleverley. Of course, they're competing for those playoff positions in League One currently. And here's Iran Kunda. Wins Watford a corner. I think it's a corner. Oh, it's a throw. Just by the corner flag. Not quite. The camera angle tripped me. So Matty Pollock utilising his long throw. Oxford clear relatively easily. And here they come. It's a 2v2 here. Jeremy Petrie does really well, though, using his pace. A great recovery run from him. And Luka Kiramgard, I mean, we've only played 8 minutes so far, but he looks a little bit lost out there at the moment. I think we're just 2 subscribers away from our goal for today's stream. So if you are new and haven't done so already, do hit subscribe down below. It's totally free to do. And also a massive thumbs up on the stream really does help us out as well. Loser's a bit too deep for my liking, actually. I prefer Loser in those more advanced positions. He's not influencing the game as much as I'd like him to so far. Here's Matty Pollock into our Moroccan maestro. Good free kick he scored against QPR. A great assist for Iran Kunda as well. What a pass that was from Imran Loser. And here is Imran talking of the guy into Iran Kunda, looking to take a touch and turn. Matty Pollock playing as a winger as it stands. Ball into Luka Kiramgard. Kayembe, again looking to get a shot away. And Loser does have an attempt. And it goes way over the bar, unfortunately. 10 minutes played. Oxford 0, Watford 0. Strange stadium, the Kassam as well. Of course, they've got an entire side missing, a huge car park as well. I know a lot of people don't buy a match ticket and instead climb up the trees just outside to get a glimpse of the action. I think we played at Oxford during lockdown in the League Cup. That must have been 5 or 6 years ago now, but I remember a few Watford fans climbing up the trees outside then to watch the match, which was quite funny. Look, out of all the teams in the relegation battle, I'd probably prefer Oxford to stay up than Leicester City. I think it's right that, you know, these so-called bigger clubs ultimately pay the price for the mistakes they've made. Tottenham in the Premier League is another example. A massive win for West Ham last night, a 4-0 win for them at the London Stadium. You know, it's putting a lot of pressure on Spurs. And look, as Watford are going to be a Championship club next season, I'd love to go to Tottenham away. I really would. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for in the Premier League and Championship relegation battles. The commentators just speaking about the wind at Oxford. It doesn't look too bad to me, but I suppose I'm not there in person. Yeah, manager of the month for Tom Cleverley in League One, Alan, which is really good, as you say. A disappointing result for him earlier today, though, a 2-2 draw with Exeter. I'm not sure what that means for the ramifications of the playoff race, but yeah, look, I'm very strong in my opinion that we should have kept Tom Cleverley this season. I made that very clear and have done many times now. So yeah, disappointed to see him. Well, not disappointed to see him doing well at Plymouth. I'm very pleased for him, but disappointed to not have him at Watford. You know, considering we've gone through 3 managers already this season, 4 if you count Charlie Austin. You know, we may as well have kept Tom because, you know, 95% of the fan base loved him. Yes, the second half of the season wasn't particularly great, but you know, I certainly would have given him a go this season. We had nothing to lose in hindsight when you look at the changes we've made. Paolo Pezzolano, you know, a crazy guy, that didn't work. Javi Gracia, he resigned after the January transfer window, and then Ed Still's come in, who is already under pressure to get some results. So yeah, I would have certainly kept Tom Allen if it was me in charge of Watford. Yeah, a lot of pressure on Arsenal as well, VJ. You're right. They lost to Bournemouth. Alex Scott with the winner in that game. Yeah, a good weekend of football to come, I feel. Here's Georgie Shakfatatse, non-police Mendy. Again, loser. I mean, loser's almost dropping in between the two centre-backs at this point. It's ridiculous. I'd rather non-police Mendy was the deeper, and then Imran Loser slightly more advanced. I don't know what we're doing here, really. It looks like Watford are just having a leisurely stroll at the moment. There's not too much intensity on the pitch. And Oxford with a goal kick. Ed still looking a bit bewildered on the touchline at the moment, wearing a nice winter jacket. And yeah, the exclusion of Eduardo Bove, not because of injury, but because of the homegrown rules, is very interesting. Yeah, I would have had Bove on the bench if it was me, but maybe I'm biased because he's one of my favourite players at the club currently. I agree, Melanie. I am really pleased for Tom. HJ2025 says, this match has a 1-0 or 2-0 defeat all over it. I went for a 2-1 defeat as my prediction. So, yeah, I can just see Oxford growing into the game. The longer it stays 0-0, I do feel in the second half they'll nick it. Which, again, isn't going to be a great look for Ed. D. Francis, hey James, and my fellow Hornets. Hope we are all doing well today. I am doing very well. Thank you for watching. And yeah, just hoping Watford can come away with the big fat W. Oh dear. Yeah, some interesting quotes from Ed as well in the pre-match press conference, which could come back to bite him in today's game. I did bookmark one on Twitter. I'm just going to find it for you. So yeah, this is via BBC Radio 3 Counties, and Ed still said, I want to make sure that the travelling fans watch the game, watch their team, and think at the end of it, wow, there was really only one team who wanted it, and we wanted it more than Oxford. Now, if this game goes terribly wrong and Oxford win by 2 or 3-0, that's not a great look for Ed still if those are his pre-match quotes. So, yeah. Really good run by Jeremy Petrie there. A really good ball as well into the penalty area. And here come Oxford. They just run it out of play, actually. It's a Watford throw-in on the halfway line in front of the technical box. I'm watching via iFollow today as it's a 3 p.m. kickoff. Usually if it's on TV, I watch on Sky. But yeah, I'm watching via the iFollow streaming service today. But yeah, great run there by Jeremy Petrie. That's what I want to see, our fast, pacey players running at defenders, putting fear into them. And yeah, it's just all about that final delivery, isn't it? If you are new around here, do not forget to subscribe. My goal for the end of the season is to reach 2.4k here on YouTube. We're about 50 away, I feel. So yeah, if we can gain about 10 or 15 today, that would be very much appreciated. So yeah, hit the button down below. And if you don't want to do that, just a cheeky thumbs up on the stream would do the world of good as well. A foul committed though on Oxford here by Edu Kayembe, I believe, and a free kick in quite a promising position. Certainly not in shooting distance. Look, I don't think that's a foul. I think that was two players going for the ball there, shoulder to shoulder, but the referee's given it. Oxford with the free kick and a chance to get a good delivery here into the box. Can I speak Indonesian? No. Thank you for your question. it is frustrating. You know, Georgie has so much potential, but yeah, his end product, HJ, just isn't there. You know, 90% of the time. He had a massive chance against Oxford to score, and yeah, it's just a tame shot at the goalkeeper. So yeah, look, I love Georgie. I think he's got all the talent in the world, but I don't think he's ever going to make it to the very, very top level just because of his output in the final third. But his ball carrying is incredible. He's so good at that. So here's a free kick. Oxford take it. Dangerous. And they score! This is so predictable. It is so predictable. Oxford United take the lead. It is so predictable. We just can't deal with these situations. Free kicks, long throws, corners. We are useless. Again, it's pinball in the penalty area. And to be honest, I don't even know who it was who scored. I'm just trying to listen to the commentary. Let me get that changed. What a disaster. It's just ridiculous. I'm just watching it back now. We're just standing still. We are just standing still as a team. Matty Pollock Paul there. Petrie as well. It's not good. I mean, Matty Pollock's one of my favourite players, but he's not done himself many favours there. You want your players to win these aerial duels, win these situations. I can't believe it. What a disaster. What an absolute calamity. It really is. Pert Harris with the goal, if you're interested. I mean, a very simple finish for him. Just fell to him nicely after the pinball. And yeah, he slotted to the left. Past Egil Selvik. And that all comes from, you know, a stupid free kick given away. And we just can't defend. I don't think there's a particular player at fault. But Watford just standing there, kind of blinded by the sunlight, unsure as to what they should do. It's just ridiculous. Really is. Oh, Luca Kirumgard there with a header on target. He just couldn't direct it either side of the goalkeeper. It suddenly turned very end-to-end here at the Kassam Stadium. Look, I don't want a manager change either, HJ. Look, if Ed still loses every game from now until the end of the season, then maybe I'll have a different opinion. But yeah, I don't see what another change of manager would do to... oh, here's a chance for Luca. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I don't know what another manager change would do for us. We've tried everything. We've tried Paolo, the disciplinarian. We've tried the returning legend, Javi Grazia. We've got Ed still now, who is very heavy on data and certain training methods, workload, etc. Here's Imran Louza with the shot, deflected. Watford having a few opportunities on goal here. We've tried everything, HJ. And Ed still as well. Let's not forget, he is a Mogi Bayat appointment. Mogi Bayat contacted Gino Pozzo and said, do you want to interview Ed Still for the role? And he said yes. So for me, we've tried every possible situation. I mean, maybe we'll bring back Walter Metzari or Vladimir Ivic. I think we're at that point now. Look, I'd love as a dream appointment probably, you know, a Sean Dyche, but we can't afford him. We cannot afford him, and he wouldn't want to work for the Pozzos anyway. So, yeah, I don't know where we go from here if we sack Ed Still. I'd rather just stick with someone and see what they can do. I don't care who it is at this point. I just want to stick with someone for longer than 3 or 4 months. Yeah, all on the beach at this stage. You're not wrong there, Mel. You're not wrong. Aren't the ladies playing at Vicarage Road tomorrow? Didn't you say that? I believe they are. I think it might be their final league game of the season. They of course won promotion, which is great to see. At least one Watford team is doing well at the moment. Evan, hello Evan. Hope you're good. He says, I'm getting more depressed than when I watch England. Oh no, that's not good. Don't get depressed, Evan. Honestly, it's not worth worrying about. When I was younger, I used to get very angry and frustrated at Watford performances. But But yeah, nowadays, if we lose within 5 minutes, I've moved on. I don't tend to get too angry, really. I'm quite a placid fan. Chance for Oxford here. Can they make it two? Can they make it two? And Watford just about get away with that. Saba Goglacice with a vital intervention. And, what a huge result this would be for Oxford. I know we're very early on here, but as I said already, they're showing far more fight than us so far. Iran Kunda now. Oh, that's a good run by Nestri. Very end-to-end at the moment. Goodness me. I'm getting breathless. And here come Oxford again. Lancashire running through. And Goglacice again with a vital tackle. That's a foul, referee. Wow. Wow. Will Lancashire. I'd love him at Watford. It's the perfect striker for us. And I look at our options up front. I do find it demoralising sometimes. Georgie Shatvatatse now in behind. And I think that goes out for a Watford corner, actually. Could Loser be at the World Cup with Morocco? I'd love him to go to the World Cup. I think the issue is that he's playing at a level which probably isn't deemed to be of a high enough quality in the Championship. He's certainly had a good enough season, in my opinion, to go. I'd love to see Othmane Mama at the World Cup as well for Morocco. But I don't know if their head coach fancies Loser. He's not been called up for a very long time. So, yeah, look, I'd love to see him there. But I think the reality of that happening is probably quite slim. Iran Kunda looking to get a shot away here. Iran Kunda jiggling in and out of the Oxford defence. He's calling for a foul. The referee says play on. And Oxford United now on the attack. Kayembe gets involved. Well, that's it, HJ. I mean, he's literally a Bayat client. Yet, we're talking about Pozzo sacking him. If anything, you'd think Gino would actually stick with Ed still, given his, perceived relationship with Mogi Bayat. Where am I watching the game? I'm watching the game on iFollow, as it's a 3 p.m. kickoff and it's not televised here in the UK. Look, I'm liking the link up on this right-hand side with Petri and Iran Kunda. Here comes Petri again. Surely that's a corner. Yes, come on. Corner for Watford. Look, I'm not going to get too angry if we lose today. I'm kind of bored of the season now. I think all I'm thinking now is just longer term to the summer, how attractive we are to incoming players, retaining key players as well. And as I said, also the future of Ed Still as well. I don't want another managerial change if possible. Oh, good corner from Georgie Shatvatatse. The referee has given that against us though, and it's a free kick to Oxford. Dan, I'm in enemy territory today, but this is quite simply the best watch along on YouTube. Well, thank you for joining me. I did think we'd get a few Oxford fans in here, given how important this fixture is. And look, I said earlier, if it's between you and Leicester to stay in the Championship, I would much rather you guys stay up, actually. And look, I think Watford are, I said this in the preview, we are on the beach. I don't think the players, are playing at 100% of their capability. Even if we're 5% off it, that has a huge impact in professional sport. If you're not quite going in for the duels as you normally would, if you're not quite, at your best, the opposition, they're going to have a field day. So, yeah. Here they come again. Just over halfway through this first half now as well. Paul Taylor, thanks for tuning in. I don't think I've seen your name before, so appreciate you watching. The sentimental appointment of Javi made little sense to me. It was a sign of pure panic. I don't disagree with you there. The reality is that we are no further forward than we were under Tom Cleverley. Spot on. You're spot on, Paul. Absolutely fantastic from you. That sums up the state of our club at the moment. We're just we just have no plan or direction as to what we want to be, what our identity is. Oxford with the corner here. It comes in right towards the penalty spot. A huge chance. Watford clear. Back into the mixer. And Watford clear again. And we were under pressure there. Takaki says, I think this is life or death for Oxford today. Well, I think Oxford have 3 home games left, this being the first. And look, they have to make the most out of that for sure. And of course, they can't control the results around them as well. I think if they're to survive in the Championship, Oxford, I mean, what is there? 5 games left? I would say they have to win. They have to win 3 probably, I would say, to have a decent chance of survival. And yeah, look, as I said, out of all the teams in the relegation battle, I'd rather Oxford survive. Plus, they wear yellow as well, which is always good for any team. Thank you, Dan. Really appreciate that. Ellis is here, one of our channel members. Welcome, Ellis. You're watching another drab performance so far. We've had a few half chances here and there, but on the whole, Oxford showing a bit more than we have. Will Lancashire, a threat in behind as well. I'd love him at Watford. I really, really would. I think it would be a big coup actually for Oxford to keep Lancashire next season as well. HJ says Petzolano would have been a decent appointment if he wasn't a crazy guy. Yeah, he was a bit mental, Paolo Petzolano. But you know what? I did kind of low-key enjoy Paolo. When we bring in these random foreign managers, I mean, yeah, it can be carnage at times. He couldn't even speak a word of English. I mean, what on earth were we thinking? There was no due diligence done there. In terms of the attacking statistics, Watford are on top at the moment. 71% possession, 6 shots on goal compared to Oxford's 2, and both sides with 1 on target as well. So Watford actually having the better of the stats in terms of attack. But yeah, Oxford stuck their chance away. Pert Harris with the easy finish in the end, you could argue, from that free kick. Nathan, good afternoon all. Good afternoon, Nathan. Hope you're good. What are you up to this weekend? Is anyone up to anything interesting? Yeah, the sun has made an appearance today, which is always good. I'm actually not in the UK next week. I'm in Paris until Friday, and then yeah, I get back on the Friday night, and I can't get my words out, and then I'm at Vicarage Road the following day for Sheffield United. So yeah, from Tuesday morning until Friday night, I'm not here in the UK. I agree, David. I really felt for Javi when he was here. You could see Javi's demeanor actually change over the course of like the several months he was here. Just in press conferences, he started out really happy and chipper, and then when it came to the transfer window and Valan Barami was sat alongside him, he just looked so down. He didn't smile. The words he used as well to describe our recruitment I found particularly interesting as well. So yeah, I think you're spot on there, David, in your assessment of Javi Gracia. Yeah, the Arsenal game was good. I watched a bit actually of Norwich Ipswich as well, Nathan. Of course, the derby match there, the East Anglian derby. That was a good watch as well. But yeah, Arsenal, I mean, are they going to bottle the league? I mean, that's the big story at the moment. Look, I'd rather Arsenal won it this year than Manchester City, put it that way. I think if Arsenal won the league and Tottenham got relegated, it's probably the best season ever if you're a fan of the Gunners. So that's what I'd like to see personally happen in the Premier League. Auntie Angie, hello. Thank you for joining me from over in America. Angie says, this score is unsupportable. I need much more coffee to be waking up to this. Well, good morning, Angie. And yeah, go and make yourself a coffee. Enjoying the stream so far. Where in the UK are you? I'm not in Watford directly. I'm in a town just north of Watford. So yeah, not too far away. But yeah, Greater London, you could call it. The outskirts of London. Oh, we've got another Oxford fan in here. Otto, Oxford till I die. I think you've been the better side so far, especially in front of goal, clearly. Watford dominating possession, though, which you would expect. We've got decent options to bring off the bench. Pierre Ekwa, of course, on loan from St Etienne in France, is someone I'd like to see get some more minutes. I'm not quite happy. Not quite happy, is that a saying? I'm not sure about non-please Mendy in midfield. I don't think he's offered too much physically today. So yeah, Ekwa is someone I'd like to see. Doumbia as well for Luka Kiramgard is a change I would make at half time. I just don't think the Luka Kiramgard experiment is working anymore. I have a trick, HJ, to get it to work is what I'll say. I can't reveal anymore. But yeah, I have a way around it. So, Watford with a free kick here. Again, not in shooting distance. Loser stands over it. And yeah, Iran Kunda chased it too much on the pass though from Imran Loser. And it goes out for an Oxford goal kick. Jamie Cumming setting up to take it. Do I think we'll see Othmane Mama on the pitch today? I'd love to. I really would love to see Mama. I think Barr is on the bench as well, isn't he? So, yeah, what a double substitution that could be late on. Quadway Barr and Othmane Mama on both wings. Yeah, if only they were fit for the whole season, hey, maybe we'd be in a vastly different league position. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Angie. I'm sending my thoughts to you. You get me, HJ. Yeah, there we go. Telepathic minds. Great minds think alike, my friend. I don't do it too often, but if it's a game I'm interested in, then yeah, I use that method. FLC 97, Watford need to play better. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think we just need to be more clinical in front of goal. As I said, we've had more attempts, we've had vastly more possession, but in terms of actually getting shots on target, creating clear-cut chances, we just haven't done that today. Nathan, loser priced at around 14 million. Yeah, I saw that report. That was from Seb Nonda at Foot Mercato in France. And yeah, they're quite a reliable outlet, Foot Mercato. Not like a top tier outlet, but yeah, I would certainly believe what they report. They said a few Premier League clubs were interested. I think a Qatari and Saudi Arabian club as well were kind of looking at Imran Loser for the summer. So yeah, 14 million, probably a little bit lower than I would expect. I thought maybe between 15 and 20 would be the price range for him. But yeah, in terms of players, we'll definitely sell this summer. Loser is clearly going to go. And I think Othmane Mama as well, if the right offer arrives. Unfortunately, just because of our financial situation, I think Mama could be out the door as well. So yeah, that's my general look ahead to the summer transfer window. If you are new around here, don't forget to hit subscribe on the channel. It would be very much appreciated. And if you don't want to do that, you can just leave me a big thumbs up as well. Anything helps me out greatly. And yeah, as I said, I'll be recording probably my Sheffield United preview on Monday because I'm out of the country for the rest of the week. I'm in France, come back on Friday night, and then I'm back in Watford on Saturday for the game. So I've timed my trip around the football. This could be the last watch along of the season, actually. I might do Middlesbrough. But I'm not sure if I'll cover the West Brom game on Tuesday, 21st of April. So just keep an eye out on the channel. Of course, if I'm going live, you'll be able to see. But if I don't do West Brom, the last stream will probably then be Middlesbrough on the 25th. And then, of course, over the summer, I'll still be here making videos for you, covering the transfer window, which will be very, very exciting indeed. And, of course, then the World Cup in June and July as well. Oxford with a free kick here. Oxford get first contact on that, but it goes wide of Egil Selvik's post. I think Long there had the header for Oxford. Melanie, very generous from you. Really, really appreciate that. Melanie has sent 5 memberships at random to those of you watching the stream. I can see Lucas has picked one up. Kieran as well. Sylvester. Rory Williams as well. Yeah, really appreciate your kindness, Melanie. Top class from you once again. You know what, Nathan? I really want to go to Morocco. It's on my list. Within the next year and a half or so, I'd love to get over there. I assume you are wearing a Watford shirt, right? But yeah, I'd love to go. I really would. I'm just a little bit concerned about, like, it's the same with Egypt as well, where like you go to the pyramids and then you get hassled around there, like people trying to scam you out of your money. I don't like that aspect of it, but yeah, if I was with like a bigger group or like an organized tour, I'd love to do it. I want to see the desert. I want to go on like a quad bike as well, go around the markets. Yeah, it's on my bucket list, Nathan, for sure. Bro, I'm from Australia. Big up Australia. BN Sports, Sky Sports, and DAZN. None of them have the stream here. What a waste of money. So annoying. Nesty banging a free kick, though, to save the game. The Lamb Sauce. What a name that is. Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, good goal by Nestry against Charlton. He obviously got 2 goals for Australia during the international break as well. I'm hoping he'll have a big second half. Just under 5 minutes to go until half time, plus whatever else is added on by the referee. Yeah, they are randomly allocated, the channel memberships. I can't control that. It's all down to YouTube. So yeah, randomly allocated whenever you send your gifted memberships. Here's Georgie Shatfatatse running at the Oxford back line. Georgie needs to release the ball quicker here. And again, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating watching Georgie Shatfatatse sometimes. Again, he does so well in the build-up. And then it's just that final ball is off. Ed still just looks bemused, bewildered. He's in his big coat as well. Clearly not warm enough, Ed still at Oxford. It does feel like a long time ago, those free kicks. The one against Swansea, the one at home to Southampton as well. At least Iran Kunda is now contributing more in open play. That was my big bugbear with Nestry. He just wasn't doing enough in open play, right? But in recent weeks, he has been in real top form, which is fantastic. Yeah, I'd love to go to Egypt and Morocco, actually. Here's Kayembe. Iran Kunda. Oh, I thought he was going to have a shot then, Iran Kunda. Geordie Shatfatatse. Should have shot Nestry. He really should have done. He's got a rocket of a strike on him. Yeah, I agree, George. All seems a bit rotational, aimless, unsure of where each other will or should be. Again, you're not wrong there. I think you echo the sentiments of most people watching this game today. We've had moments of of brilliance at times. But again, when we just get to that final third, we collapse. Um, yeah, so frustrating. And then the goal we conceded as well. A silly free kick by Kayembe. I thought it was quite soft, to be fair, so I'm not going to blame Edu totally for that. But again, the ball comes in, no one wins the duel, no one makes first contact. Oxford get there, and Pearl Harriet slots away past Selvig. So yeah, that's been the story of the game so far. Really shocking in the final third for Watford. Oxford get one big chance and they take it, and congratulations to them. It's a huge game. FLC Vision says, "Do I think we can still reach the playoffs?" No way, Jose. No way, my friend. That dream was long dead and buried a while ago. Yeah, look, we'll think about next season rather than this season for the playoffs. All right, 30 seconds away from the interval. I can't imagine there'll be too much added on. There's been no injuries or real long breaks in play, so what shall I guess? I'll go 2 minutes added on by the referee. I always guess whenever I go to Vicarage Road. I always try and guess what the officials will add on. I don't know. It's just like a random game I play to myself. Maybe I look silly. You tell me. But yeah, I'll go 2 minutes from the official today. Let's see what he's gonna say. What are they adding on? And it is 2 minutes. A round of applause for James. I got it spot on. How do you reply to comments? So if you do so I think the way on YouTube how it works, Mel, is if you obviously when you go to type a message, if you type in at and then the username of the person you want to talk to. So if you want to speak to Angie, you can type in at Auntie Angie. That's how you can reply directly to a comment on live streams. Hopefully, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain on here. Whereabouts in Australia are you, Lamb Sauce? And why is your name Lamb Sauce as well? Tell me the backstory behind that. Watford looking to counter here in the last minute of the first half. Jeremy Petrie shoved off the ball. Is the referee gonna bring that back? Throw into Oxford, 20 seconds left to play of the first half. I mean, it's just another. This just reminds me of QPR, really. It's just another substandard performance by Watford. I don't think we've been terrible on the whole. It's not been like a real awful game to watch. But again, we just can't we can't defend any sort of aerial ball into the box, whether it's a corner, throw, a set piece. If you put it in a dangerous area, you're more likely than not going to score against Watford. And actually, the last moment of this first half is going to be an Oxford free kick here. Can you imagine if Watford concede here just before half time? I would be furious. Here we go. The ball comes in towards a penalty spot. Oh, God. Selvig went to punch it, didn't get there, and it went just wide of the goal, thankfully. And the referee has blown his whistle. Let's stop the timer. I mean, it's just poor from Watford, isn't it? It really is poor again. So there we go. Stop the timer. Let's reset that for the second half. I mean, what can I say so far? You know, Georgie looks like a real bright spark down the left. Iran Kunda and Jeremy Petrie seem to be working well together too. Saba Goglachitse, as much as we dislike the guy as a footballer, has put in a few decent interceptions as well. For me, I just don't think that midfield is working. Kayembe isn't getting involved. Loser is dropping too deep. If I can take a look at the substitutes bench actually now. I'll get this up on the screen for you as well. Hopefully you can see this. Fingers crossed this will work. Share screen. There we go. Fantastic. So yeah, you can see the substitutes bench on the screen now. Nathan Baxter, Josh Mullins, of course, from the academy. Kevin Caben is there. This is what I'm looking at here. Kwadwo Bar, Pierre Ekwa, Mamadou Doumbia, Othmane Mama. Those 4 players have to make their way onto the pitch in the second half. Luka Kiramgard has been given the nod. Again, up front, he has been largely anonymous. If I was there still at half time, I would probably do Ekwa for Nompoli's Mendy, Doumbia for Kiramgard, and maybe actually Kwadwo Bar for Georgie Shakfatatse. Or certainly get off Mane Mama on the pitch as quick as possible as well. So, yeah, those are the 4 changes I would make. Whether he does that now or later in the game, we'll have to see. But yeah. Looking at the other results in the Championship, let's take a look at the halftime scores. You can see, you should be able to see on the right-hand side of your screen. Charlton 1, Preston 1, Leicester 0, Swansea 0. That's, of course, a big match in the battle for relegation. Borough 0, Portsmouth 0, Oxford 1, Watford 1, Sheffield United 0, Hull City 1, Southampton 0, Derby 1, Stoke 0, Blackburn 1. And yeah, those were the earlier results. Norwich losing to Ipswich, Coventry drawing with Sheffield Wednesday, and then West Brom drawing with Millwall as well. So that is halftime. That is the game so far. I'll be back with you in a few minutes to look ahead to the second half. Oh, hello. I have returned. Unfortunately, you have to see my ugly mug once again. Um, Look, whatever. It is what it is. This season is just petering out really quickly. Yeah, let's take a look at a few of your comments. Josh Lewis, hello Josh, buddy. Hope you're good. Josh said, pretty sure we now equal Wednesday for most goals conceded from set pieces. That is not a good stat at all, Josh. Loser having a scrap in the tunnel, apparently. Apparently, Loser had a fight in the tunnel. I'm not sure what that's about. I never saw that on my feed. I don't know if anyone can give me a bit more information about that. Hopefully, he's not being carded at all by the officials. Angie says polite play is nice but boring. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just bemused at this point. I really am. I'm just frustrated at everything. I really am. And I renewed my season ticket as well just a couple of days ago. It cost me, I mean, what did I pay? £570 for my seat. So yeah, I'm in it for the long haul, put it that way. Gino Pozzo or not, I'm always going to watch Watford, but yeah, it's not good at the moment at all. It really isn't. We're just waiting for the players now to emerge for the second half. The statistics of the match are popping up on screen for me now as well. And look, Watford, if you're to believe the stats, are dominating in all areas. But what matters is the scoreline. And the scoreline says Oxford United 1, Watford Football Club 0. And that's all us as fans care about. We don't care about XG created, chances in open play. If Watford won every match by 1-0 for the rest of my life, I think I would be pretty content with that. Miles Peart-Harris with the goal. He's the current man of the match so far, if you're to believe the ratings. I just don't know what to think anymore. I really don't. Frustrating, really is. Sorry, I'm just waffling nonsense now. Do ignore me. But yeah, we're just waiting for the players to emerge for the second half. I'm just going to look on social media actually to see what Watford fans are saying. Twitter is always a good place to look if you want some controversial opinions. Someone said, I'm at Oxford. Can anyone else smell manure? Nicholas Smith on Twitter, really hoping that Ed isn't here next season, as what we are watching is absolute dog crap. I've taken out a word there. Someone else here said Ed still promised attacking, fast-paced football. It's not on show. It's been very boring for the majority of his tenure so far. I don't know where his modern and progressive coaching methods are. I mean, these are all fair observations by Watford fans. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. As I said before I went off at half-time, he's got to make some changes at the interval. We can't be waiting until the 60th or 70th minute to see our best players come on. Let's look at the bench once again. Kwadwo Bar is there. Pierre Ekwa is there. Doumbia is there. Mama is on the bench as well. Those are 4 quality players who, on their day, are game changers. And we just can't afford to have them on the bench for too much longer. Now, the question is, looking ahead to the summer transfer window, and we've seen this in previous seasons, will Watford want to protect their key assets? The worst case scenario for us in our current financial situation would be for Loser, for Marma, for Bar to all get kind of muscular injuries heading into the summer, because at that point it makes them very difficult to sell on for high transfer fees. So yeah, I think that's my only concern. Will they actually utilise our key players for the final few games, or will we just see what we've seen so far today, which is just subpar performances? Watford is a bit of a enigma, says Francis. Pretty talented on paper by championship standards, but regularly disappoint when it's time to perform. VJ says this Chelsea game is so important. What game are you on about, VJ? I don't think Watford are playing Chelsea anytime soon. HJ says I haven't seen it, but bring Doumbia on at half time. Look, Luka Kiramgard has had a couple of half chances here and there on the turn at the near post. There was one as well, but he's just not. He's just not for me the profile of striker that this current group of players needs. As I said, I would love to see a Mate Vydra type, a Fernando Forestieri, an Odion Ighalo, a quick, nippy striker who can hold up the ball, but also use their pace, run in behind, and be really incisive and clinical with their finishing. So, yeah, that would be the priority for me this summer. Of course, that's very difficult. I'd love, for example, on the opposition today, Will Lancashire to join Watford FC. He's the mould of striker I would like to see us recruit. But as it stands, we're stuck with 3 players who are all very tall, very young, and all left-footed as well. And I just don't think that is, beneficial for this side at the moment. Put my AirPod back in so I can listen to the commentary. I think his first time finishing close to goal, HJ, is good, Luka Kiramgard. But, he's not the type of player who is going to create his own chances. And I think that's the issue with our strikers at the moment. They rely heavily on service. And if our wide players are having an off day, they really do struggle. Whereas I think in the Championship as well, given that anyone can beat anyone, you need a game changer in that position. You need a striker who can take the ball, run 20 yards, turn, and curl it into the top corner. I can't see Semedo, Doumbia, or Luka Kiramgard, for that matter, doing that at all. Now, I'd love to be proved wrong, and I really hope I get proved wrong in the second half, but I just can't see it. I really can't. The teams are back out. We're just about to get underway here at the Kassam Stadium for the second half of this fixture. And Watford shooting towards the away fans as well in this half as well. Just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle and then I can start the timer. Hurry up, ref. He took ages in the first half. And we're underway. We are underway. Good stuff. Well, I say good stuff. It depends who you support. I know. Imagine having Dini, Vydra, Ighalo, and Forestieri back like we did in 14-15, says HJ. I would love that. I would do pretty much anything in the world to have that strike force back. And that's what we should look to replicate moving forward. Like, I think that's how football is going now. I think, having 3 players of a similar profile like we have currently just isn't... It's just poor recruitment. I just think it's poor recruitment from everyone involved. Selvik claims. Takaki says, I get the feeling Watford will score more than 1 this half. Time for a bet. Well, that's up to you. I certainly don't think that will happen. My score prediction was a 2-1 defeat to Oxford. So I had a score and a goal, but I just think they'll want it more than us. I think as the game goes on, the home support will probably get more and more behind this team, actually. I'm worried. I really am worried. We've had a player go down off the ball here injured. I'm not sure who this is. It's Non-Police Mendy. He's just gone down off the ball, clutching his knee. It looks like the Watford physios might have to come on. There's just no tempo from Watford today. There's no intensity. There's no real willingness to fight for every duel and get first contact. And that's how we conceded that first goal. Just not engaging quick enough. Let's see what happens. Iran Kunda shifted over to this left-hand side now. Oxford calling for a foul. Referee says play on. Iran Kunda probably lucky to get away with that. A little bit dirty. Went in late there on an Oxford player. And here is Iran Kunda in behind. Georgie Shatfatatse now. Here's Georgie in the box. Oxford clear. I mean, what is Luka Kiramgard doing here? I mean, he needs to be making a run into the penalty area, not coming short. Oh, dear. What is everyone up to for the rest of this weekend then? I don't think the weather is looking too great tomorrow. Is anyone going to any other football matches, going out for meals, getting a takeaway, watching a film? Yeah, if the football today isn't great, I think we should switch the chat to something else shortly. So yeah, no changes, just to confirm, no changes at half time from Watford. If I was Ed Steele, I wouldn't be waiting more than another 5 minutes or so. We've got to get our best players on the pitch. You can't have Barr, Marma, and Doumbia all sat on the bench. Pierre Ekwa as well, a real physical presence in midfield. I think Pierre Ekwa, from what I've seen so far, he does the simple stuff so cleanly and so well. I don't think I've seen him misplace a pass, actually, Pierre Ekwa, since he joined the club. I'd be really interested to find out how much that buy option is from Saint Etienne. You know, maybe the buy option on Ekwa was on the condition that we get promoted to the Premier League. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. But yes, so far from what I've seen, he looks like a real tidy player. The Lamb Sauce says, playing some golf this weekend, got the weekend off from work. That sounds absolutely great. I hope you enjoy that. Iran Kunda with a nice pot from distance there. Jamie coming forced into a save. Just had to turn that over the top of his crossbar. I think it was probably going over anyway from Iran Kunda. But I tell you what, he is really good from distance. Just trying to catch the goalkeeper off guard there. And Iran Kunda wins Watford a corner. Georgie Shatfatatse with the delivery. It's headed clear again. And it's a terrible shot from Luser. He just gets too much under that one. And it goes right over the Oxford goal. And Jamie coming now. Gonna take this free kick. Goal kick, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah, 5 more minutes and then I'm making changes if I'm Ed. Here's Petrie again. A really good recovery from him again. He's had a good game actually, Jeremy Petrie. I'm not too disheartened with his performance. Other players though, I certainly am. I remember this referee as well. I've just seen a shot of the ref. And he's absolutely huge. He's like a bodybuilder, this referee. He's got massive, like, tree trunk arms. He's definitely in the gym every day, this bloke, for sure. Sorry, I got distracted, but I had to make that observation. Watford clear. Melanie says, just lost you fiddling with my settings. We'll have to ask my sons when I see them next. Well, can you hear me, Melanie? Hopefully you can hear me now. Fingers crossed. Oxford with the throw. Oh, God, I'm finding this drab now. You know, I'm trying to make this as exciting as possible for you, but it's just not good. Will Lancashire here spins in behind. Picks up the ball nicely. Here's Brannigan, edge of the box. Lofted ball in. And Selvik is going to keep that in place. Selvik's come right out of his goal. Launches one forward. Kiramgard with the header on to absolutely no one. And his body language is just off for me, Luka Kiramgard. I don't want to dig him out too much because I've done that many times over the past few weeks, but not impressed at all. A massive goal as well in the race for relegation. If there's any Oxford fans in here, Leicester City are 1 goal down against Swansea. Zan Vopotnik has scored for the Welsh side. They're beating Leicester 1-0. So, yeah, big ramifications if Oxford can hold on to this result. Okay, Oxford with another set-piece situation. They must have had about 10 already today. Donnelly standing over this. Again, it's a lofted one right towards the centre spot. And Goglachitse, I think, gets something on that. And it goes now out for a corner. Watford under the cosh here. If you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would really help me out as we race towards the end of the season and a summer transfer window. And also, if you can, leave a big thumbs up on this stream as well. It would be very much appreciated. Oxford with the corner now. Can they secure the victory here? I think a second goal probably does it for Oxford, to be honest with you. The liner just getting in the way of the setup here. Here we go. Okay, some defending to do for Watford. Come on, Matty. Get your forehead on this. Corner comes in. It's a difficult one to deal with. Watford clear. Oxford calling for a penalty after a player goes down. They keep it in play. And it's a throw. It's got to make some substitutions soon, surely. Get Kwadwe Bar on. Get off Mane Mama on. What's the point in having them on the bench if you're not going to use them? You know, Eduardo Bove drops out of the squad because of the homegrown rules. That shows how poor our recruitment is, that we're having to drop senior pros because we can't fill that homegrown quota. It's just ridiculous. You know, Bove was meant to be this high-profile, high-caliber signing. And whilst his performances haven't been top tier, he can't even make the bench today because we don't have enough homegrown talents. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh, dear. So Oxford going for the long throw. My spidey senses are telling me this is going to be a goal. Oh, it nearly was. It nearly was a goal for Oxford. Blimey. Yeah, my spidey senses were tingling. They really were. Ugh. We cannot deal with long throws. To be fair, Matty gets a crucial block in there, actually. I'm just seeing this on the replay. That probably would have been a goal if it wasn't for Matty Pollock's block. Yeah, I had a tingly feeling in my fingers, my spidey senses. We are approaching the 60th minute mark. So much pushing and shoving here. Nestri Irankunda's been booked. Irankunda with a yellow card for shoving an Oxford player to the floor. I think it's Irankunda. It wasn't very clear on the camera. It may have been Egil Selvik, actually. It's a bit like a rugby match at the moment. They're all crowded around Selvik in the Watford goal. The corner comes in. Oh! Should have scored. Oxford should have scored at the near post there. I think they'll come back to rue their chances if they don't beat Watford today. I'll tell you what, they really do look good from set pieces. Far better than we do anyway. Auntie Angie says her spidey senses are sensing a Watford goal soon. I hope so, Angie. Melanie, get some subs on in big capital letters. I agree, for sure. Who would you bring on, Melanie? I think I would definitely try Doumbia up front for sure, instead of Kiramgard. And then probably Bar for Irankunda and Othmane Mama for Geordie Shatfatatse is what I would do. And Pierre Ekwa as well, as I mentioned earlier. Here come Oxford on the counter, taking on James Abankwah. Oh, it's good work by Abankwah. And he hoofs up the pitch. No nonsense from him. Oh, what a save! Carl Pert Harris again. With the strike from distance. Selvik forced into action. Angie says, can I speak more on the homegrown thing? So I believe the regulations, and I could be wrong, Angie, is that you need at least 8 homegrown players in your squad. If you can't meet that regulation, you basically have to substitute. Again, a big save by Selvik. You have to substitute basically foreign players for like academy lads. So today we have Josh Mullins on the bench. We have Amin Nabazada. These are all players who have been trained and developed at Watford for a certain period of time. As Bove is Italian and he hasn't trained in England and isn't classed as a homegrown talent, he has had to effectively come out of the squad and been substituted with an academy player to meet the homegrown regulations. I've probably balls that explanation up slightly, but that's essentially how it works, pretty much, Angie. It's the case in the Premier League as well. I think they're a little bit more lenient. But yeah, it's all to do with loan players as well, how many loanees you have. Watford are making some substitutions here. Let's see who's coming on. Looks like 2 subs for Watford. No, they're going to have 3 substitutions, actually. So, Papi Mendy, Non-Police Mendy is coming off. Kwadwo Bar is on. Good. I'm happy with that. Jeremy Petrie is coming off. We know he's been struggling with a shoulder issue. And Kevin Caben has come on for Petrie. And then it looks like it's going to be a straight swap up front. Doumbia for Luca Kiramgard. I'm just waiting for confirmation. And yeah, Luca's come off. Doumbia on. Luca looks really down, actually. Walking to the bench. Looks really demoralised, actually. So yeah, I'm happy with 2 of those substitutions. Doumbia on for Luca. I mean, that's the right call from Ed Steele. He should have started in hindsight, of course. And then Kwadwo Bar has come on as well for Non-Police Mendy. So we've gone to a 2 in midfield. We've just got Luza and Kayembe in there. And yeah, let's see what happens. Half an hour to play. I don't think we will, Dan. I just can't see Watford getting anything currently. I think if we make a couple more changes, like Ekwa on, he's a tidy player, Othmane Mama as well, I think we could put you under pressure for the last 10 minutes. But we're a moments team. Watford very much rely, Dan, on individual moments of quality from a loser and Iran Kunda. You get the gist. Rather than a collective, we really do struggle. Here's Oxford. Watford with the mistake. Kevin Kabem blocks and it goes out for a corner. Will Lancashire looking really good up front, I've got to say. Real hard worker, Will Lancashire. Do we look any better in the second half? I would actually say, HJ, we look marginally worse in the second half. We're certainly not creating or having the number of chances we did in the first 45, for sure. And good to see a high attendance at the Kassam Stadium as well today. Usually I do these watch-alongs and no one's in these stadiums. But a good attendance at the Kassam. Poor corner by Oxford. Yeah, our record in the second half of seasons, it isn't great at all, is it? We always seem to have a really good kind of first half up until about mid December, late December, and then as soon as the new year hits, it's just disaster. Like this season, we had the whole postponement. We had Max Lane recalled. Javi Gracia resigned from his position. It was just a complete disaster of a January for us, and I think that negativity has just continued since. And look, the players have to take an element of responsibility, but ultimately it falls onto another good shot from distance. Ultimately, it falls onto Scott Duxbury and Gino Pozzo and the decisions they've made. Ed still can only do so much, right? These players have seen so many changes and head coaches over the years. It shouldn't surprise us to see them putting in, subpar performances. So look, they do have to take responsibility, of course. But I'm always going to look towards the top of the club rather than those below. Yeah, Mifune was a huge loss as well, for sure. If you're to believe the report from the Watford Observer, it looks like we're trying to get him back next season. We're in the race to get Mifune back next season, which is a positive. But I don't like relying on loans. They are useful in certain circumstances. But we saw with Max Lane, if the parent club has a big injury crisis, like Manchester City did, losing Ruben Dias, Josko Gvardiol, they're going to recall their best players. And that hindered Watford this season, having Max Lane recalled. So I'd love Mifune to come back. But ideally, I'd love us to go and buy a quality centre-back, HJ, on a permanent deal, if possible. VJ, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that. Oh, I tell you what, it's going to be toxic in that Watford away end today. It was toxic from what I gather after QPR. I had a few friends and mates attend that match, and they said afterwards there was quite a few fans who stayed behind to, have a go at the players, which is fair enough. If you pay your money to attend these matches, or even watch at home and pay your Sky Sports money, you have the right to express your opinion how you want, and a lot of fans did that after the QPR match. Kayembe challenges Oxford, screeching for a penalty. The referee says no on this occasion. For me, I'm just going to watch back in the replay here. Kayembe in the duel. I think that's a penalty. I really do think that's a penalty. Kayembe gets none of the ball. I think that's a clear penalty. I really do. He's obstructing his path. I think it was Mills who went down for Oxford in the duel with Edo. I think that's a penalty. I really do. In real time, it looked like a dive. It looked like a soft challenge. But on the replay, in slow motion, which I know is always a bit dodgy, it looked like a penalty. It really did. So a corner for Oxford instead of a penalty kick. Can Watford deal with this? We do just about, and it's gone out for yet another. Oh no, the referee's given the goal kick. I tell you what, this referee is very chaotic in the way he gives decisions. He's not very clear, this ref. I've got good news, everybody. Othmane Mama is about to come onto the pitch for Watford. Our Moroccan is back. And we're looking for a moment of individual quality here from Othmane Mama. Georgie Shakpatatse is off and Mama is on. So all we need now is Pierre Ekwa, and then my dream has become reality. I think Ed still might be listening to the watch along. I loved Angela. I really did love Angela HJ. I loved Sebastian Prodel as well when he was at the club. He was a proper no-nonsense Austrian defender. I remember when we played Manchester United and Sebastian Prodel kept Zlatan Ibrahimovic in his pocket all game. It was so good. Yeah, I think that's got to be a massive area of focus for us in the summer. We're losing a lot of players in that area of the pitch. Abankwah is alone. Goglachitse is alone. Formos Mendy, I know he's not been used lots this season, but he's a loanee centre-back as well. We need to get a few more permanent central defenders into the club, and quality ones at that. Someone to really partner Matty Pollock. Brannigan attempts the shot from about 45 yards away. That was always going to be a strange effort. Here's Oxford still, though. Dangerous. Goglachitse half clears it. Oxford still camped on the edge of Watford's box. And I'm panicky here. Few of you talking about Iran Kunda and his attitude problems I can see in chat. I mean, look, he's 19 years old, Iran Kunda. I think, when I was 19, not too long ago, I was a bit like that as well. He's clearly got the world at his feet, Nestri Iran Kunda. And I do think, to his credit, in the second half of the season, he has actually become a bit more composed in them heated situations. He still has work to do, don't get me wrong. But I certainly feel in the past couple of months he's grown into himself as a player and as a person, Nestri Iran Kunda. I loved his MJ celebration as well. He pulled it out of the bag against Charlton. He did it for Australia as well. I'm hoping his Michael Jackson celebration will be trademarked for sure. 20 minutes to play. I mean, I'm not really that inspired so far. We've created next to nothing in this second half. I can't really remember, bar a shot Iran Kunda had, anything of note that's been created by Watford. Please do subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. It would be very much appreciated. You can do that by clicking the button down below to help us reach our goal by the end of this season. And if you don't want to do that, and fair enough, you don't have to, just giving me a thumbs up on the stream would be fantastic as well. So that would be greatly appreciated. Watford still dominating possession, 65 to Oxford's 35. More shots on goal as well, just about. And Oxford United with another set piece here. They just need to stick one away to secure all 3 points, in my opinion. I think a lot of our players have been quite petulant on this pitch today. Imran Louza has just picked up a booking as well. Ball comes into the far post. Selvik doesn't get there. Kayembe clears. And here's off Mane Marma with plenty of time and space. Go on off Mane. He cheeky nutmeg in there. And it goes out for a Watford throw. That's positive play. I mean, who we got left, HJ? We've got Sheffield United to Vicarage Road. That'll be a tough test against a former Watford manager in Chris Wilder. We've then got West Brom. Then we have, is it Middlesbrough and then Coventry to end the season. So we could very, very much not pick up another victory this season, which you have to say would be curtains for Ed Stiller. I can't see Gino Pozzo keeping him if we don't win another game. So good from off Mane Marma. And here's Kevin Caben in acres of space. Iran Kunda now takes a touch. He turns the header and Doumbia sends it wide. That was a really good moment of play by Watford. All started by off Mane Marma. Very, very good. Just couldn't stick the ball away, which has been the story of this game and the story of our season really so far. We're bad at both ends of the pitch, Watford. We're not very good defensively from most situations. And then up front, you get into promising areas and there's just no one there to stick it away. But Doumbia with a header there, on another day, should get it on target really. Oh, look at this. Paul mentioning Ben Watson, Etienne Capoue, Decore, Will Hughes. Oh, you're making me reminisce, Paul, over what we had compared to what we have now. Here's Kwadwo Bar running at his man. Kwadwo Bar goes down. Is that a foul, referee? Oh, dear. Kayembe now. Looking to find a pass. Imran Loser still too deep for me. Here's Matty Pollock. It's a good cross by Matty. Jamie Cumming gets there though. And he'll take his time over this probably just to get some seconds off the clock for Oxford. Will Lancashire, really good in his duel against Saba Goglachitse. Top work by Lancashire for Oxford. Saba wins out in the end, but Oxford retain possession. They're going to have a shot from distance here. Selvik gets down. He punches away. He should have caught that Egil Selvik for me. Although I'm not a goalkeeping expert. And here come Watford. Kwadwo Bar now. And suddenly we've got some pace on the wings. Goodness me. That was obvious from the very start. I do try, Melanie. It's just all about availability of some people. Like I was in contact with a couple of ex-players over the international break. They're just very busy at the moment. So yeah, hopefully I can fit them in before the end of the season. Or in the summer would be fine as well. But yeah, I do contact a lot of ex-pros who have played for the club. So yeah, do not worry. I try my best. I try my best. Here's Iran Kunda. Stays on his feet. Good to see. Being surrounded by 2 or 3 players there, Iran Kunda. He wins the ball back. He's got to pass it. Pass it, Nestri. Pass the ball. Oh, this is a good move. Oh! Oh my God. That was so good by Iran Kunda. Really good work rate. Just blasted over by Mamadou Doumbia, who's had a few decent opportunities. And on the half volley, Doumbia thighs over and it's a goal kick to Oxford. See you, David. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Deep breaths, everyone. Let's breathe together. Deep breathing and in and out. I'm joking. There's nothing to play for. I'm not too stressed today. Earlier this season, when we were in the race for the playoffs and there was something on these games, I would get quite concerned. But given this game is essentially meaningless, yeah, I'm not too nervous anymore. And the goal scorer, Pert Harris, has come off in the 72nd minute. 77th, I should say. Sorry, excuse me. And Tia Avest, whoever that is, Tia Avest for Oxford has come on. I've never heard of him, I've got to say. So excuse my ignorance. Maybe Dan could let me know what position he plays. Yeah, Othmane Mama is on the pitch, Hamburger. He come on about 10 minutes ago, Othmane Mama. He's made a good impact so far, actually. It's good to see him back on the grass. Callum is here, the Hornets house. How are you, my friend, Callum? Long time no speak. Hope all is well. I assume uni is starting to finish now. I think they finish a bit earlier than colleges and stuff, don't they, uni? So, yeah, hope you're good. Need to get down to another game, Callum. He's a right back, says Dan. Okay, interesting. Here's Kayembe. Kayembe with a searching ball forward, trying to find Othmane Mama. Goglachitse. Watford lose out here. Oxford regain possession. Will Lancashire just holding on to the ball for a moment. Loser with a lofted ball forward. Doumbia wins the header, and that's a great header won by Doumbia. Here's Iran Kunda. He's got to have a shot here. Iran Kunda, what a run! What a run by Iran Kunda! Oh! Oh! What a run! What a run! He nearly scored. He nearly scored a wonderful goal there, Nestory. What a shame. What a shame. Really unlucky there, I've got to say. He was being trapped the whole way by a defender, but he maybe should have got his shot away slightly earlier. Maybe I'm being too harsh there. It was a really good run, though, by Nestory, our Australian international. Yeah, exactly the same as me, Evan. I'm not too bothered about this season anymore. Potentially so, George. I did see that appointment announced on social media. You got maps with the 21s as well. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I think if Ed still goes at the end of this season, we would have yet another change of coaching staff anyway. So, yeah, I don't think too much will be decided just yet, George. I would assume they'll probably wait until the summer, if I was to guess. Here's Iran Kunda. He's got to shoot. It's taken way too long again. He takes way too long to get his shot away. He looks knackered, Nestory. He's doing absolutely everything. Here's Quadway Bar. And why does it take until the last 10 minutes for Watford to look like an attacking outfit? It's so frustrating. Melanie says it cost me £41 to fill up my tank for work today, so unlikely to make another match this season. That is a shame. Although, if I were you, Melanie, I would just say, you know what, forget the football, enjoy your summer, and then come back next year, is what I would do. Long throw by Watford. Pollock. Oh, I thought Pollock scored for a moment. He fires into the side netting. 8 minutes to go of normal time. Yeah, he tries too hard, George. He really does. I'm just watching the replay of Iran Kunda's chance here. I mean, it was superb defending by Oxford. They worked hard there. He had about 4 players tracking him as well, Iran Kunda. I do feel for the guy. He's been good, actually. He's been okay today. I think Petri has been good. Excuse me. Petri's been good. Iran Kunda's look quality. Goglachitse actually has been okay. Other than that, I can't really think about any good performances. Our midfield has been quite poor and probably our downfall, in my opinion. I think persisting with Edu and non-Police Mendy isn't the way to go. I would much rather see kind of Pierre Ekwa and Bove get some minutes. But yeah, there's been a few decent showings by Watford. Still disappointing though to concede in the manner we did. And look, if the result stays as it is, you know, a 1-0 defeat to Oxford, who are in the relegation zone, you know, like with the QPR result, it's just not acceptable. Loser takes the corner, and it was a good delivery. Kayembe picks it up over on the far side. Can Kayembe get it back in? He does so. Doumbia challenges for it, and Oxford look to counter here. It's a 2v2. It's still a 2v2. A third Oxford player coming up to join. And Watford defend. Well, Abankwah's been okay, actually. I'll give him some credit too. Come on, Watford. Come on. We can get a consolation goal here. Loser. Into off Mane Marma. A lovely spin and turn from Marma. Oh, it's fantastic. Off Mane Marma. And here he is again. Can he dink it towards the far post? Surely. We've played some good stuff, actually, since the substitutions have come on. Here come Oxford. It's a 2v2 again. Of course, Watford committing lots of players forward at this point. Comes off Goglachitse and goes out for a corner. A KO drama says, why do the Pozzos expect us to push for the playoffs with the squad we have? I don't know. They kind of dug themselves a hole, actually, in their communications prior to this season. You know, every few days we would have playoffs. Premier League is the aim. Premier League is the goal. When actually, if they had subdued expectations slightly and just said, we're looking to have a positive season, develop our younger players, I think fans would be more understanding potentially. But because they set their goals so high, you know, that's what we're going to judge them on, rightly so. So, yeah, that's my stance on that at the moment. KO drummer. Oh, another shot from Oxford over the bar. I think you'll be okay, Dan. Don't worry. Don't worry too much. The one before that. What was your comment before that? We have European players who play 30 to 38 games a season, not 46. No wonder each season the last few games are terrible, poor recruitment. I don't think that's necessarily the case because, you know, you look at teams in Europe, like the top teams, they go far in the cup competitions and Champions League. So I wouldn't put it down to necessarily foreign player recruitment. But certainly I would agree with the fact that we need to increase our core of homegrown English talents or British talents, right? That's what I'd like to see moving forward. Have a spine of players who know the division. I think Hector Cipriani, whilst he's not the most flashiest of players, he has been a big miss since his injury. So to have people like him come back and recruit more players like that in the summer, I think that's what I'd like to see moving forward. KO Jummer for sure. Mr. Watford boy, what have you missed? You've missed quite a drab performance again. It has improved in the last 15 minutes or so since we brought on our more flary attacking players. But on the whole, a very disappointing day again. And even if we did get a consolation, I think the Watford fans who travelled and spent their money today wouldn't be happy. As it stands, the live league table has Oxford United in 21st on 44 points outside of the relegation zone. So if they hold on to this, they are in a good position, Oxford United. He's off Mane Marma. He's so good. I mean, I don't think we realised just how much we missed off Mane Marma, actually. He's had such an impact since he came onto the pitch. I can't believe Kayembe has stayed on over Pierre Ekwa. That's surprising to me. If you are new, as well as we approach the end of this fixture, please do subscribe down below to help me hit my goal before the end of this season. It would be very much appreciated. And if you don't want to do that, do hit the thumbs up beneath the stream as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're spot on, George. Oxford are a team and we have individuals. I think that's shown again today quite clearly. Iran Kunda going on a few mazy runs to try and score a wonder goal. Whereas Oxford don't have the talent we have, but what they do have is a real good work ethic. The last substitution for Watford, you would assume, Saba Goglachitse has came off. So we are effectively a defender down. And Tom Ince has come on. So, yeah, I'll leave it as that. Tom Ince on for Watford. Not too exciting. I think Leicester are still in the relegation zone, actually, yeah. Don't watch the highlights, Alan, for sure. Do not watch the highlights. Do something else with your evening. Go out and touch some grass or something. Don't bother with the highlights. Oxford actually as well, running down the clock. They've just won a corner. Their fans are up on their feet. They're very vocal. They're loving it. And Watford, again, have some defending to do here. I think there's 5 minutes added on here by the fourth official. So 5 minutes to play. Oxford with the corner. Of course, they're taking their time, as you would, given the position they're in. Here we go. Oxford with the ball in towards the far post. They're claiming there was a touch on the way through. The lino has set a goal kick to Watford. I mean, we literally have to commit. I mean, Ed's still saying, get up the pitch. We have to commit everyone forward now. Get Pollock up there. Get Caben up there. Abankwa. What we need is like a Harry Maguire. He's good in both boxes. Pollock could be that. He's very good the majority of the time. But today, it's just not quite been at it for me, Matty. Kyle, you saw off Mane Marma yesterday and acted as a double agent. Interesting. You asked him to not leave in the summer. He laughed at you, laughed it off, and instead assured you that Foremost Mendy would be here to stay. Oh, that's terrible news, Kyle. Here's Will Lancashire. Can he put it to bed? And that's it. That's it. It's Oxford 2, Watford 0. Will Lancashire with the goal. And they're taking all 3 points today from the Kassam Stadium. It's game over. What a strike. What a strike. And they thoroughly deserve to win this fixture. Oxford 2, Watford 0. Wow. It wasn't Lancashire, my apologies. Harris with the strike. Number 9. Really good. That was actually similar to what Iran Kunda scored against Charlton. He got right behind that, across Egil Selvik in goal. Really powerful. He was never going to stop that. Watford sloppy in possession. Kevin Caben working to get back. And it's a very good finish by Harris. A really powerful strike. And that's the game. Set and match, I'm afraid. Oh, I do worry. I do worry. I don't want another managerial change, but I can see it happening. I really can. I have no words. I have no words. I'm not going to sit here and swear like others may do, because that's just not in my nature. But it's just not good enough. It's embarrassing. It actually is embarrassing. And actually, you know, when you look back at some of our other fixtures against teams towards the bottom of the table, Blackburn, we failed to beat them on both occasions. Oxford we beat at Vicarage Road. That was fair enough. We've lost to them today. Sheffield Wednesday, we nearly lost to Sheffield Wednesday twice this season. Rivaldo Semedo rescued us in both of those games. It's just unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. And look, of course, the players, again, have to take some responsibility, as does Ed Still for his starting 11. But the ultimate responsibility should fall to those at the top of our club. It's been a failure of a season once again. And if this summer goes badly, rather than looking upwards, I think Watford could be looking below to League One football next season. That's how concerned I'm feeling as it stands. All my positivity has gone. Oxford could get a third here. Here come Oxford again. And it's well defended by Kevin Caben. Very nearly a third goal for Oxford United. Oh. Yeah, I'm intrigued as well, Kyle. Some big quotes from Ed Still prior to this game. He said, he would hope Watford fans would walk away from the Kassam Stadium feeling proud about their team and performance. I feel embarrassed, Kyle, today. And that is a stark contrast to what Ed Still expected prior to this fixture. Angie says she stick to her stomach. 30 seconds to go of this fixture. I think there might be another minute or so added on after the 5, just because of how long the goal celebration took from Harris. It's shocking. It really is shocking. I'm not happy at all with what I've seen. We had a 15-minute spell where we looked good when Barr, Marmer and Iran Kunda were playing quite well. Doumbia looked bright at times. But other than that 15-minute spell when the substitutions were made, on the whole, I think we've been dreadful. And we've got tough games to come. West Brom are fighting for their lives. Sheffield United is a returning manager coming to Vicarage Road. We've got Middlesbrough fighting for automatics. And then Coventry, who are going to win the league on the final day at Vicarage Road. This could get very nasty very quickly, I feel. Put it this way. I don't think a lot of people will be staying after the final game for the players to walk around the pitch. Kyle says, I like Oxford. I hope they survive ahead of Portsmouth. Yeah, I agree with that. I do like Oxford as a club. Richard says, another disappointing result. Don't let it get you down, Richard. Stay positive. As I said, when I was younger, I used to let football dictate my weekends and weeks. But given the few years we've had recently, just forget about it and move on. Jamie Cummins standing over this free kick. It could be time once he's kicked this forward. And the referee blows up, and the Oxford fans are up in joy and delight after securing a huge victory at the Kassam Stadium. Pert Harris with the first goal. It's just a disaster. It really is a disaster. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. Get your thoughts in chat. I'll stick around for a few more minutes. But yeah, another loss for Watford. And where do we go from here? I don't know. I think we're on the beach. I'm interested to see if the Watford players actually go over to the away section to get what they ultimately deserve. You know, they don't deserve to be applauded off today, this Watford team. They deserve to be shouted at and told what we think about them, which is that, as it stands, they are ruining what had the potential to be a good season. And it's such a shame to see it peter out in this manner. We've been through 3 managers. We let Tom Cleverley go, who was arguably, you know, a cult hero, a legend at the club. And look at Oxford here, celebrating, doing allays. It's just embarrassing. It really is. Sully says, unlucky. Richard, another disappointing result. Paul Taylor says, bye-bye, Ed. Take your laptop and your textbook training manual and off you go, pal. Paul Taylor, not happy with Ed still. My question to you would be, Paul, who comes in next? Who comes in next to this circus? That's my question to you. You know, congratulations, Sully, on the victory. Melanie says, my new grandbaby will be a gooner as it is. I mean, they're better off supporting Arsenal than Watford, Melanie. I can tell you that for free. The Lamb Sauce says, right, I'm going to bed 2 a.m. currently. I'm supposed to be up at 6. Have a good rest of your day. Well, I appreciate you tuning in. Oh, dear. Deary me. Let's take a look at the player ratings before I go, shall we? And also the other scores in the Championship. There's a couple still going on, but I think the majority of them have concluded now. Let's switch to the other screen. Just bear with me for one moment while I get this sorted. There we go. There we go. We're on the other screen now. So, what are the scores on the door? Preston beating Charlton by 2-1. It ended West Brom 0, Millwall 0, Coventry 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Norwich 0, Ipswich 2, QPR 0, Bristol 0. A massive result in the relegation battle is Swansea 1, Leicester City 0. Portsmouth getting a late winner against Middlesbrough. That's a huge result at the bottom and top of the Championship. Our game, of course, embarrassing from the Orns. Oxford 2, Watford 0. Sheffield United, our next opponents, came back from 1 goal down to beat Hull City 2-1. Southampton with a victory and Stoke with a draw at home to Blackburn. You can see the Watford player ratings. Petri, Goglachitse and Iran Kunda, the better players statistically, according to FOTMob from our side, and lots of greens and blues for Oxford United as well. Pert Harris with the goal for them. That was nicely taken from a free kick. And then coming off the bench, another Harris, Mark Harris, getting the second. 3 minutes played, 1 goal scored. He'll be enjoying his afternoon. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching once again. Lots of you tuning in today, which I really appreciate on your Saturday. Where do we go from here? I don't know. I'm just concerned now about Ed Steele, his future, and what's going to happen in the summer. Yeah, I'm not going to waffle on too much longer. Thank you for watching. You can find us across all social platforms. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, And of course, we're here on YouTube as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. Before you go, leave me a big thumbs up on the stream as well. And I'll catch you again very soon, either later today or tomorrow, for our Oxford United match reaction. Here we go again. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.